All right, guys, you asked. They delivered. SuperSprings International finally knocked out a set of SumoSprings for the 5th Gen 4Runner. And if you're not familiar with SuperSprings International, they make a ton of suspension components and a pretty rad bump stop line. And that's what these are here. These are the SumoSprings, and they're for the front of the 5th Gen 4Runner. Let's jump in. All right, here's a quick look at what you need to actually install the bump stops. You have your 2 bump stops right here, your hardware, Loctite, a 17 millimeter, and this pipe wrench. So if you don't have a pipe wrench, you could probably use something creative like a clamp, like a big ass C-clamp or something if you don't have a pipe wrench. Luckily, I have grown man tools and I know what I'm doing. So also on top of what you get in the package, you have SuperSprings instructions and you have a SuperSprings, hey, thank you for your order card. Plus, they give you a sticker and another sticker. All right, let's jump into the install. All right, first step of the install is to jack up your truck, but before you do that, loosen the lug nuts on your wheel. All right, now that your lug nuts are loose and your tire is fully off the ground, you can remove your lug nuts. Always chop your tires under your sliders, but don't get in the way of the bump stop. Get it back here. This is where your factory bump stops are mounted. So we want to size that out now. They start to bust it off. Try not to hit your $2,500 brake calipers. And then thread those off. So that, for reference, was about 2.5, just over. You, the guy she told you not to worry about. No, I'm just playing. But seriously, look at the difference between these two. So obviously your factory bump stop over here and these SumoSprings over here. Wow, bro. Look at the contact too. Hot damn, that's impressive, SumoSprings. Now that we know how much better SumoSprings are, we can toss that in the box, or if it rolls away, whatever, we don't care. We are not going to use our hardware. We're just going to use the SumoSprings. SuperSprings International ships this same kit that's applicable to many different makes and models. So some of those makes, some of those models use the hardware. We're not going to use the hardware. We're just going to use the blue Loctite, and we're going to put a few drops on these threads right here and then thread them up to the location where the factory bump stop came out of. All right, we have our front bump stops here and a little bit of Loctite on those threads, and these are ready to go in. Whew. Almost need to droop out those lower control arms. These things are so big. Hot diggity damn. These are massive. Whew. Oh, no, you don't need it. Use the man hands. Ugh. Whew. All right. That's good. All right, let's take a look at these bump stops in action. Here's that clip from the beginning of the video. This is going pretty slow. It's probably 3 to 5 miles an hour right here, just kind of rolling through some whoops and some run it out sections. And you can see we got really nice compression, really nice soft rebound right there. And then this is probably in the 10 mile an hour range. And again, really nice compression on those lower control arms and great rebound, just super soft all the way around. And then this is the 15 mile an hour range, kind of going through some big rutted out sections right there. You can see that compression and rebound and just the suspension cycling right here. Just a good look at how the SumoSprings kind of react to different speeds right here. And then we get a little bit quicker up into the 20-30 mile an hour range here. Not hitting too many big rutted out sections, but a couple little whips and dips here and there. And these things are putting in work. Downtown with the SumoSprings, and because I have such a high lift in the front, I'm actually at about 4 inches of lift in the front, maybe even 4.25, because my preload is adjusted up so high. And then I also have 2 shims stacked on top of my coilovers as well. So because I have that big of a lift, it's pushing my lower control arms down, which kind of prevents my lower control arms from contacting the SumoSprings. So on-road, I don't see that much performance, but you probably will, given you have like a 2-inch lift kit or a 3-inch lift kit. On-road, your lower control arms will press up into that SumoSpring much more often than mine will. Where I see the most performance is off-road, doing 30, 40 miles an hour off-road, hitting big washouts. I can definitely feel my lower control arm pressing up into the SumoSpring. So that's where I see the most performance. But again, I mean, I can feel it on road here and there. It just obviously doesn't make as much contact as it would as if I had a smaller lift kit. So SumoSprings are great. They have 3 different densities. They have the blue, the black, the yellow. The blue is the softest, and it goes all the way up to the yellow, which is the most firm. So they're also progressive, which makes the contact very smooth compared to a traditional rubber bump stop. When the lower control arm presses up into the SumoSpring, the compression is very smooth, and then the rebound when it comes out is also very smooth, as opposed to a rubber bump stop when it compresses and rebounds, the compression's okay, but the rebound on rubber bump stops is just intense. It's just a jarring rebound. So we've run quite a few different bump stops, Timrens, Duro Bumps, great companies, great product. We just feel like the SumoSprings are a little softer. So just different products, different feel, different ride comfort, and they're designed to be a airless airbag, so a little bit different. With all that said, we love our SumoSprings, both front and rear. We've been running our rears for about a year now, and we couldn't be happier with just how they handle all the weight on Jade. I have tire swing out, full-size 35-inch spare, and it's a lot of weight. So the SumoSprings do great at handling all the weight. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get back to you guys. Peace.